So looking at this pyramid, we see the same thing. Don't forget that these pyramids are symbolized already all over the world as the place where men go to become gods. Now, it's not necessarily meaning that that actually happens, but it's just locked up in the information, the title or the description of the place. The pyramid itself, remember, is this understanding of this trinity knowledge of what? This trinity knowledge of cells, this trinity knowledge of DNA. You know? So the pyramid as the object that you see in stone is telling you something else that's set in stone. That's DNA. But yet there's a symbolism of these objects also as they play back into the three-dimensional, into the material world. But you got to understand there are huge, hyper-reflective meanings of higher truth here. So the pyramid is a place where men go to become God. It's because it's the knowledge that they have to know to manipulate the genes to become God. And of course, it's this understanding of this dark matter and this light spirit. And of course, you got to have the discernment, the spiritual discernment, the material discernment to be able to do this. And lo and behold, we've got this thing called CERN that has manifested itself. Of course, it's interested in dark matter and spirit bricks. Interesting. So when you cross these two paths, these two crooked paths, these two stairways to heaven, of course, the light and the dark, that's how they think they're going to achieve, their Zion, their godhood and material. Well, that's exactly what this is telling you. And that's what the good fortune ultimately leads to. The good fortune that they believe they will eventually, become as gods. And then there's the same crooked paths. One light, one dark, crossed over each other. Crooked path double. Of course, this is representing this rising helix of the DNA, which goes on to symbolize even further the rising Kundalini serpent. And then, of course, this goes on to symbolize in the material these rising enlightened beings, the Danites, which will manifest in that dimensional plane of reality. Just like you see all of this manifesting in the lesser or higher dimensional planes of reality. Everywhere you look, you see the same thing, the same manifestation of the original informational pattern. Same thing. So very, very interesting. I know that you can begin to understand this. Let's, remember, these are those Freemasonic squares. And they're manipulating those original four dimensions. And those four dimensions are linked with height and time. But those four dimensions are also informational perspectives of science, mathematics, religion, and the arts. And then those four can be broken down into those same four dimensions. Each one applied to the other perfectly. And let's not forget that, if we've got two Babylons, we've got this ecclesiastical Babylon, we've got this a commercial Babylon, right? Then we've got two owls in the eye. We've got the Iris, Ishtar, back here, and then we've got the band of Orion, which we said was commercial Babylon that had to be removed so the battalion band of Orion could show. So there we would have the commercial Babylon owl there. There would be two owls, right? That's exactly what we got here in the original fractal. We've got the two owls. We've got the division. We've got the material, and then we've got the spiritual. And then we're running the two paths of the corrupted information of the two separate owls or two separate Babylons. The corrupted religious Babylon ecclesiastical, and then the corrupted material commercial Babylon, running the same corrupted path, same two owls. What did I just tell you? And then what you see right here, two owls. I'll be back.